All right, we can probably get this party started. Welcome everyone to Banana Bread Trades. Name's Goose. I'm just gonna do my weekly planning. Figured I'd do it live. I'm getting ready for the week, marking out levels and kind of deciding what we're gonna do. There is some pretty big, I'd say very important market structure happening right now. And we're looking at ES right now, the S&P 500 futures. And what we can see here is that in the long term of things, right, this volume duration that I have marked out right here, this is for the entire move down. Ever since we flipped to a bear market, that's what I've really been gauging. And what we can see is that this last week, we actually flipped the POC up to here. It was down here. We flipped it to up here. And that kind of correlates a lot with the kind of choppy market that we've seen the last week, right? This has kind of become for me, kind of a no trade zone. We need to break away from this POC to get some nice, clean, trendy moves. We've been in pretty tight. I mean, as you can see, we've been in a pretty tight range since April 23rd, pretty much. I mean, we really haven't. We've had a couple like big days here and there. Those big days really didn't go anywhere. Right, so that's kind of, oh, I still have starting soon on? My goodness gracious. Yeah, that's a mistake on me, big guys. Guys, I apologize, and Sam. Damn, I feel dumb now. It's been a while since I streamed live, right? I didn't even know the starting soon was on. My bad. But back to the actual what we were talking about. So yeah, this is ES. I feel dumb, but yeah, this volume profile that I have marked out right here, this goes for the entire bear market that we've had. We had the POC, and we've kind of moved this POC up, and we really ranged hard right here. And just this last week, we flipped it up to here. And as you can see, kind of the last few days, like all of last week was really like we literally did not move away from the POC at all of last week. We didn't go anywhere. So it's really, until we move away from this POC, it is a tight range gross market. I mean, as you all saw on Friday, we had a nasty sell-off, right? From the beginning of market open all the way till like 2 hours before market close. We had a nasty sell-off, and we literally ended the day at the POC, right? We had that ridiculous buy up there in the last 2 hours, ended the day literally right at the POC. Now, did I see that move coming? No. We left a pretty nasty bottom, and I really expect us probably tomorrow or Tuesday to fix that bottom, unless we somehow break away to the upside of POC. Yes, her Friday's close, not close, but Friday's low was a double bottom on both the 15-minute and the 30-minute, I believe, on ES, and that statistically should break. It did not break, and a bunch of sellers got squeezed, as we saw. But following probably tomorrow, I would expect that bottom to break, and then once that bottom gets repaired, then we can probably see a move in one or the other direction, or we're waiting on some catalyst. I really am not entirely sure what we're waiting on. I mean, we've been ranging here since, as I said, April 23rd. We've been in this really tight, gross range. So I don't know. I really expected CPI to break us away from this. CPI results came out literally no bias either way. It wasn't a great CPI. It wasn't a bad CPI. It was just things were not like a couple things missed, a couple things hit, but nothing like way out of whack to make us have any strong bias any way or the other, right? Even me is like just a regular retail. Like I got no bias from that release. Kind of gross. So the range continues until pretty much like it's a range until proven otherwise. Right, and with this POC here on ES, it's really just going to be some gross trading around this area. So really be careful. Take profit. Don't expect large swings to work out because, yeah, it's a range, right? Let's take a look at NQ. NQ is a little cleaner. It's not as gross. We haven't flipped the POC up here, but as far as overall market vibes go, the ES really holds more weight in that aspect. But NQ is kind of breaking above this. We're really, I mean, we're just at the top of volume here, right? We haven't really broke out anywhere. And I was really expecting kind of a breakout to happen post CPI. We didn't get it. And so yeah, I'm not taking longs up here. I'm waiting for really clear signs of buying before I really try swinging any longs, because in a non-biased sense, right, you take away volume profile and everything, or you can even leave volume profile included. We're really just in a really good short zone right now, right? We need to pull back to really get heavy on some longs, but as far as like trying to swing longs go, like we're nowhere in really a good area for that. So cautious on longs. I'm not hitting shorts unless, you know, we have some really clear short setups. I want to see the rocket scooter liquidity map be bearish before I really start getting heavy on shorts, and it's been really bullish. I mean, honestly, since probably around here, it's been fairly bullish. There was one clear day where, I mean, we had pretty bearish MHP HP configuration for a long time. They were either really close or pretty negative. And then there was a day where it switched, and it switched to be super bullish. And we've kind of been in, you know, this bull run ever since. That's what I really like about the rocket scooter liquidity map, is it really shows when the big players in the options chain are hedging themselves bullish. And so far there's still that. So I'm not trying to swing any shorts in this area, even though I do, like, if you were to tell me you're going to swing a short up here, I can't tell you that I hate the idea. I'm just saying from my stance, there's I'm going to wait till it's optimal, right? Till it really makes sense on all factors for me to be getting heavy short and really swinging shorts. So for now, as long as we're above this purple zone, I'm not longing the highs, but I'm finding really good pullbacks to kind of want to long, right? Unless, like I said, obviously it's super bearish. So that's what we have on the macro charts. As far as news goes for this week, there's really nothing. There's nothing of any significance whatsoever. A few foreign stuff, you know, for Globex. If you're a heavy Globex trader, there's quite a few like CPI release, like Canadian CPI releases. We have US retail sales. This is on, let's see, what day is this? May 16th. We have US retail sales. What day is the 16th? That's going to be Tuesday. So that will be a fairly aggressive move there. But that's an hour before open, right? So I'll probably look for that move to either rip or dump and then either move back to that initial, if you watched the How I Trade CPI video, I will look for it to move back to that launch pad or the diving board, right? And then I'll play from there. That's how I'll be looking for US retail sales. I don't know if that'll happen pre-market or during market. US industrial production also on Tuesday. It'll be an aggressive move, but again, pre-market. So yeah, Tuesday pre-market's going to be pretty gross. And then we have nothing else, I believe, until Thursday. EIA crude oil inventories. If you trade oil, that'll be a nice move there. Oil has been really weird the last week or so. It's been dumping pretty hard, and with inventories being weird as well. Now we have US existing home sales. This is on Thursday, and this one is a lot of news coming in right now. What happened? Who's opening right now? I don't know what's going on. This is wild. But US home sales, this is a really good indicator of inflation, and these inflationary indicators generally have some pretty good moves. So Thursday, I will probably be flat until after this release. It happens 30 minutes after market open. So really my initial balance play will be the play to do. Or like I said, I'll be playing, if we do get like a really aggressive move in one way or the other, I'll wait for the launch pad or diving board play from the How I Trade CPI video. And then after that, that's pretty much all there is for the week as far as news goes. So really kind of uneventful outside of Tuesday and Thursday. And even those 2 days, I don't expect any super hard trends to come out of those, right? I don't expect us to break out of this infinite range just off of those 2 news releases or those 3 news releases. Earnings. So this is what we have as far as earnings. Nothing major whatsoever. None of these are going to absolutely dominate the market, right? As far as Walmart goes, though, Walmart and Target, I may or may not play those option-wise. We'll kind of see how Monday goes market-wise. And then, however, you know, those 2 stocks kind of move, I might actually play some options plays there. So stay tuned for that. I'm not really sure. I really like the Walmart one, so that's going to be the one that I really try to play hard. I would like to probably buy some calls on their earnings. I was doing some looking. I think they should probably have some good earnings. But like I said, we'll see what Monday does. Since that's a Thursday play, I may wait and see what Tuesday does. But yeah, we'll just kind of wait and see on that one. I do really like Walmart. Target, I'm not as familiar with Target. Walmart, you know, they're everywhere in the Midwest, whereas Target, little far and few between. So I don't shop at Target, right? I like playing the stocks that I actually have used or have experience with, right? You see a lot of people using something, you're like, oh, well, their stock's probably going to do pretty good because everyone needs this and everyone uses this. I've been to Target only a few times. Walmart all the time. I like Walmart. I know a lot about Walmart. I don't know. It's just how I am. I'm weird. Same thing with like oil companies. I do a lot of oil company plays as well. Like 9 Energy, I've been playing that one a lot. But again, I work for an oil company, so yeah, play your strengths, I guess. So there's macro, there's our news, earnings for this week. Now we need to draw some levels, and I'm only going to draw my levels probably here on NQ. There was one other one I kind of wanted to point out. And if you look at ES here, this is an RTH only chart, regular trading hours only. And look at all of last week. So the yellow lines are the day separators. And when you take out Globex, we literally didn't go anywhere the entire week. And this is like pretty wild, right? It was a disgusting, gross, this is the 1 hour chart, by the way. It was a disgusting, gross, choppy range, literally the entirety of all of last week. Gross. Not much we could really play there. So yeah, I need ES to move out of this current POC that it's in for it really to become tradable for me again. So yeah, we're just kind of waiting on that, and we're playing NQ because the moves have been somewhat cleaner, right? I think I have a NQ only or RTH only for NQ as well. Now, when you look at, let me change this to a 30-minute. There. When you look at NQ and you look at last week, we had quite a bit more movement, right? It was a little bit more uptrendy the entire week, not quite as rangy. I mean, it's still somewhat rangy, but we just had a little bit more movement. The plays were just slightly more clean. So yeah, NQ is what I'm going to be sticking with, at least for this week, until we move out of this POC. I haven't traded ES really at all the last month. I haven't even touched it or looked at it. It's just been gross. So NQ, there are two pretty important levels that I definitely want to mark out here, and one is going to be this volume gap right here at this 13,360 to 380 kind of area here. This definitely needs to be marked out because you can see it's a clear spot of kind of support and resistance, right? Not a lot of volumes wanting to be taken there. So that's where we've been rejecting as far as infinite range goes. We break above there. We got some support there until finally on Friday we broke through just to end up literally right above it. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to zoom out because I like to get everything that's been involved in this level, right? So it looks like we actually kind of missed the top there, maybe by just a smidge. I'll go ahead and mark it out anyway. And I don't like where that's at, so I'm going to move it just to account for the gap itself. Yeah, I like that right there. So we're going to go ahead and make that a right ray. So I'm going to keep that level in my sights, and it's a really good target zone, I think. Maybe, like I said, looking at this Friday action, it's not really a great entry zone unless something happens overnight tonight. And then the last thing I want to do is I want to mark out this consolidation zone from the top of, what is this, the 12th? I want to mark out that little consolidation zone right there. And I will be looking for that to be another target zone as well. The last thing I want to mark out is we're going to go to ES again. Where's my good ES chart? Where is my good ES chart? We'll just do it on this one. I got to change this to the 30-minute. There we go. So it was the 15 and 5-minute that we left the disgusting double bottom, but even this bottom here wasn't very clean either. So I'm going to go ahead and mark out that level right there. That is yesterday's low. I want to know that that breaks. If it does break, those levels get bright red for me. So yeah, there's that low marked out. That is a good target zone as well. If we get any sort of short setup tomorrow or Tuesday, and I'm talking like swing short setup, I don't know if Globex is going to give it to us or regular trading hours, I'm going to be holding a runner to that red line, right? Even if I take the trade on NQ, if they are in sync that day, right? Because ES and NQ have been pretty out of sync a few days the last month here. If it's a day where they're both in sync and NQ gives me a really good look at a short setup, I'll probably take a short on NQ, and I'm going to hold that last runner until we get to that 411 or 4111 area. And that'll be the target for a swing runner if I decide to take a short on NQ. Where will that short be? I really don't know. We could get up to this 4180 area and be, given another short situation or like scenario. Like I said, if we get a nice short setup, I'll take it. But right now we're really just ranging hard in between these two zones. And as long as we're in between these two zones, I'm not going to be taking anything on ES. I'll be sticking to NQ. And yeah, so last week, we'll point out a couple last things here. Last week, the POC got put in at the top of the infinite range. This is our weekly chart right here on the left, or the weekly volume profile, I mean, right here on the left. We did put in the POC at the top of the infinite range. It's also our monthly POC as well. This white volume profile is the monthly, and then the red is just the full chart range. So that's really important to note that this area right here, this 13,285 level, really going to pay attention to it as far as being the top of the infinite range. It's a definite long area, right? Even though it is last week's POC, I would expect that area to hold because it's the top of the infinite range. And we didn't quite get down to test it on I guess that's not exactly, yeah, it's kind of the top of the infinite range. As far as volume goes, it's the top of the infinite range. So I'm going to go ahead and mark out that area. I'm going to make it a different color. Probably make it red as well. And then I'll type in there. See, Control E. Infinite range volume, or infinite range top of volume. TOV, top of volume. So I want to make sure I'm paying attention to that area as well. And like I said, if we do break ES's really bad bottom from Friday, I would expect us to also kind of be in this area. Might be a really good long opportunity. Like I said, we'll see how kind of Delta flips. And if we get like a really good volume buildup on the daily volume profile and we get a really nice Delta flip, as in we're seeing some real buyers and some real absorption there at the low, we'll probably play into some longs. But other than that, I mean, really, as far as like long-term bias goes, I really got nothing. There's nothing really tugging me one way or the other at this point in this market, especially with the way ES looks. It's really just playing the range, making sure I play my zones and my zones only. I don't want to get caught diddling in the middle of any of this here. It's going to be really gross and it can really chop you up bad. So I'll be just being really, really patient. And if I see a good setup, I'll take it. And if not, I have no quarrels with just not taking a trade on a day, right? If nothing really formulates there in the first 2 hours, I'll probably just close charts and call it a day. If something happens in the afternoon without me, that's totally fine. Because if something happens in the afternoon and we finally do break out or move to some important level, the next day will probably provide some really good trading opportunities in the opening market session. Yeah, that's really all I got. Nothing attractive for me here on this Sunday. It's just, yeah, that CPI was pretty disappointing. So almost on standby here. So I hope everyone stays safe this week. Catch me in the Discord if you got any questions. And yeah, let's have a killer week. Let's be patient. Let's be safe. Oh, one last thing. If you do trade Apex and you took a loss on Thursday or Friday with Apex, go and check your account summary tab on the website. Anyone who took a loss on Thursday or Friday, it seems that they have restored your account to whatever its balance was at the beginning of that day. I noticed this. Anyone that was in the chat that had a loss on Friday saw that their account was set to Thursday's balance, and that was because Rhythmic on Apex's Rhythmic was having some issues, basically because they just have too many users, and Rhythmic wasn't necessarily prepared for that, I guess. I don't know. You can see their Instagram statement, but if you did take a look at it, I know the accounts that I took just like one tick trades for, just trying to get my trading days in, because I have a few accounts that are past that I'm just trying to get the days in. their day and account value was reset to the prior day, which I'm not mad about, like, because if I had taken a loss in those accounts, I would have wanted them to be reset as well. So yeah, if you had a loss, check those out. If you had a big loss, be very thankful. That doesn't happen often. So go ahead and treat this week with a lot of discipline. And yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow.